Hey, welcome back, Veteran Nation fans, and boy, do we have a show for you today. It's one that I predicted would happen, and sure enough, what I was predicting definitely came to pass. I do want to open this up a little bit, just so I can move around. There we go, that's a little bit better. There we go. Okay. As I predicted, Spawn Trooper would respond, and this is part 2 of his response. So I'm just going to play the audio, and we will go through it. This is rather long, though. I am speeding it up, but it is rather long. So we'll get into it. He does this. He'll sit with dead air.
Well, let me read this one out. So, first of all, let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror which paralyzes needed effort.
Oh, wait, this is the wrong video. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Because you put...
Yeah,
I have my opinion. I'm about to say is of my own opinion, of my own observations.
The Celtic move.
Someone sent him in a song. That's
and
fine.
the vibe of the whole damn life.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Right, okay, before I actually get into this, I'm going to say one thing now. Anything I am about to say is of my own opinion, of my own observations. Everything that I do say is from me. Okay, there's no attack, there's nothing. It is basically facts. Now,
and I'll get into that.
Go into it, I'm going to read you something that I wrote quite a while back. Right, because this is how I was dealing with the bullshit that was coming from Mike Arthur. Now, I'm going to read this out, and then I'm going to read... Actual fact, you know what?
He's using my name.
Excuse me. I'm going to read out my description. And then I'm going to read out what I wrote a while back. Okay? So you get a gist.
And then we're
going to go into the nitty-gritty. And then I'm going to tell you of my own opinion, my own observations. Now, I have gave everybody the opportunity to leave me the fuck alone. I've done it to them. I've left them alone. I've moved on. I have my opinion. I have my insight on everything. Okay? Now, yes, I mentioned Mike the other day. Right? Because at the end of the day, he is using me for content. However, I was then informed...
I am using him for content.
...to go and check out a link. So I checked it, and it was timestamped. So basically, it wasn't the whole stream. It was a timestamp. And I went to 29 minutes and 30 seconds. And lo and behold, yeah.
Oh, no.
A couple of days before that, right, the attempt to gain my personal information, right, is trying to entice. Okay. But that's nothing compared to what you're going to hear today. Right? That is fucking innocent compared to what you're going to hear.
He says I'm trying to gain his personal information, but yet this is the guy actively investigating me, okay? Actively investigating me. But I haven't asked for his personal information. What I have said is he will not do a copyright claim against me because I will get his personal information, and he's very protective of that. Scott M. Taylor is very protective and does not want people to know that he lives in Southampton, UK. He's now trying to say that, I live in Wales. He doesn't. I'm Mike Arthur. I live in 29 Palms, California. There you go. Completely equal. I'm not doxing him. I'm not doing anything like that. But I'm just explaining, here's why he won't do a copyright claim. I do want to show you guys this. This is what he put. And he does read all this. But things are beginning to make more sense since I've had the misfortune of knowing Mike Arthur. This stream is about facts. He will read this. Yes, I check his videos before being informed about what's been said. For the most part, I laugh, ignore. No, someone mentioned him on my stream. I addressed it, and I moved on. Someone else sent him that, and then he did like almost half an hour about me. So yeah, he watches. But as I've said, if he talks about me, I will absolutely monetize him for content. So I'm going to make money off this. But yeah, I want you guys to see, this is like all the stuff. So this is the one that he posted April 30th. And yeah, like he's mentioning me by name in here. And he thinks that like that's like some problem. Like, okay. Mike fancies himself as the big bad wolf of YouTube, but trust me, I've seen... okay? Do I? Okay. And today's stream will be the last time I address this topic. I have money. This is not the last time he addresses this topic. He's going to see this video. He's going to see the other video that I did, and he's going to address it again. He's absolutely going to address it. Mike shifts into his victim mode. Okay. Sure. I guess. But yeah, he'll read this whole thing.
The description that I put on.
Oh, here.
Welcome to the...
I don't want to put up his video as he's going, even though I sped it up, and I'm okay doing this.
Woolston. Today is going to be an enlightening one. And let me make this crystal clear. This is the first and last time I will be addressing this topic. So please, pay close attention, as this is where we separate fact from fiction. I've tried to ignore it, even found some of the behaviour mildly entertaining, albeit questionable, but on the other hand, things are beginning to make more sense since I've had the misfortune of knowing Mike Arthur.
He's reading the description of his video. This dude loves to hear the sound of his own voice. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit, because if you want to read the description, go read it, if he hasn't taken this down by the time this is posted.
But this time it's different, as his actions now have crossed yet another line. Here are the cold and hard facts. Mike's content copyright act. If Mike doesn't watch my content, how is he managing to spend time editing, copying, and reworking my material for his own?
Oh, I don't care about your show, but if you do, if you were just to mention me and someone said, oh, he mentioned you, I'd listen to it and then be like, okay, whatever, move on. You did 20 minutes on me. At least 20 minutes. More like half an hour. And this is a 2 hour and 54 minute stream. And I'm at least a third of it. I didn't listen to all of it. That's why I'm just going to do it like this. But yeah, you definitely are doing way more than me.
Streams. This is clearly an attempt to antagonize and create tension. It's not the first time either.
Oh, I am definitely trying to antagonize. It's not so much about attention, it's about the money. I am gonna make money off you. I am gonna antagonize you and make money, because I know this pisses you off. I know me playing your audio bothers you. Remember, your likeness is intellectual property, and your voice is your intellectual property. Well, I'm using it and I'm making money off it. You don't understand fair use and copyright law.
Examples include the 16th of February 2025, April the 29th 2025.
Just so you guys know, December 16th he did a whole stream on me. So he's complaining about my responses. Everything since then is just me responding. I ignored him from December 16th to January 20th. And yeah, I will absolutely make money off you.
At 29 minutes and 30 seconds. April the 26th, 2025, entire video. Fabrication, lies, and contradictions.
Oh,
Mike is as truthful as he likes to claim. Let's let him explain.
As truthful as I like to claim. Okay. Whatever.
There's no excuse for this deception. Victimhood routine. When caught in a lie or called out for his behavior, Mike shifts into the victim mode. He is tried and true tactic for him. But in this case, he's made errors, whether willingly or unwittingly, that revealed more than he intended.
Who sounds more like a victim? Here he is upset that I am monetizing him and his opinions and just making fun of him. I am mocking him. Do not be fooled. I am mocking him.
A bigger picture. Mike fancies himself as the big bad wolf of YouTube, but trust me, I've seen bigger and far more influential based. But to see him, one Mike T. Arthur, buckle up, because this ride comes with fact sarcasm.
Did he just say Michael T. Arthur? Oh no! Oh no! My public information is being made public.
With a healthy dose of humor. Now, let me preface this by stating that everything I write here is my personal view and insight into the curious mind of someone who seems convinced that being called out on lies and deception equates to hating or threatening them.
Let me be clear. This is me making fun of him and making money doing it.
Yes, it's a fascinating delusion armed with big legal-sounding words. Mike attempts to intimidate while conveniently forgetting to clean up the skeletons rattling around in his own closet.
Don't be fooled. He's already said he's investigating me. And he's got Americans do it. And a couple of those people have already reached out to me. That is harassment. That is 100% harassment. If you're saying that you need people to send you information because you're gonna expose, yeah, that's harassment. That's harassment. Unless if it's something newsworthy that fits the public interest, it's harassment.
Like messy divorce.
Yeah. Hold on here.
Into the curious mind of someone who seems convinced that being called out on lies and deception equates to hating or threatening them. Yes, it's a fascinating delusion armed with big legal-sounding words. Mike attempts to intimidate while conveniently forgetting to clean up the skeletons rattling around in his own closet that, like messy divorce, he's been trying to sweep under the rug for years. Oh, but don't worry, we can see all the dust.
Yeah, he really wants to bring forward all the information of my divorce. And I guarantee you people have told him, look, don't do that. Because in family court, there's a lower standard of proof on things. You can say things in family court and not have a shred of evidence about it. But when you have a public forum and you start pushing that, yeah, that's when that changes. And now defamation and slander, because someone saying something in court, they have judicial immunity. Where they can say things in court. They have a right to defend. They have a right to make accusations. And it all goes under the Sixth Amendment because it's in court. So you're facing your accuser. He doesn't understand any of that. He doesn't realize that there's a divide. He doesn't understand U.S. law. So yeah, he wants to make public, which I've talked about. Yeah, I had a messy divorce, which is still going on. I was attacked as part of that. It was on video, and it's a much bigger story because of the individual who attacked me. And then they've tried to silence this channel. That all is public interest. Anytime, if it bleeds, it leads. So if there's an attack, that will 100% be newsworthy. And other people have done that story. I have been advised not to do this story, and I have not done the story. But he's been saying privately that I edited the video. Okay, here he doesn't say I edited it, but he says I did other stuff.
The tale begins, our protagonist, if you can call him that, has once again made some interesting accusations via his YouTube platform. A platform, by the way, littered with 32 videos in a series titled Harassment and Corruption.
Okay, but accusations. Everyone can go to that playlist and see. I will tell you this. The reason why the union has had my back is because everything I've ever talked about is a story. I have sources for them.
Because if you're going to play the victim, you might as well call it go all in. The series dates back to 2019, but as of 2023, it's made a glory.
There's playing the victim, and then there's actually being a victim. I have a video that shows me being attacked from behind, and I was forced to defend myself. That is actually a victim. That's true.
Glorious return, filled with claims of threats, conspiracies, and other persistent narratives that it's always someone else's fault. Mike, buddy, ever thought about switching up the script? Seriously.
Conspiracies. I do have sources and facts for everything in that playlist. Every single thing. I've got, and there are others who will acknowledge that. I've got a degree in journalism, so I knew before I ever took that to air to have that. And I actually knew that with all those things, I could be held legally liable if I had lied about any of that stuff. That's why you see the videos. That's why I have video evidence of a lot of this stuff, or I have a source in writing.
What's fascinating in his apparent obsession with gathering personal information? Why, you ask? To intimidate? To prove a point? Who knows?
Look, I'm not asking anyone for your personal information. I'm just saying you won't do a copyright claim because you'll have to give up your personal information. So I'm sitting here, like I am broadcasting your likeness, your voice, and I am completely fine in doing so.
But we do have evidence that Mike's being used and others to spread his narrative because, you see, directly doing so would land him in some legal trouble. Plausible deniability? Who knows? It's not just for the movies.
It's not legal trouble. We have a First Amendment right. I am very confident in my position. However, I am not trying to complicate legal matters. I'm trying to keep them very simple. And I was told, because I asked, hey, if I publish the video, will these things happen? And I was told, yeah, you should expect that. And I said, okay, what should I do? And they said, you can't publish it, or you could publish it, but expect those repercussions. However, if other people, and here's the thing, those other people already had the video. Since the day after it happened, at least one of the individuals who's been publishing the video had the video and had already made calls to other entities about that video. So I just told them, hey, I'm not going to keep you back from publishing it anymore. That's what I said.
Anymore. The questionable chronicles. Let's dive into some curious points, shall we? Mike can't seem to remember that he had a breakfast yesterday, yet he conveniently forgets I was present in the stream that I've already covered. When
he was not present in the stream. He was in the chat. He was not on the camera. He was not a part of the stream. Let's get that clear. Just because you're in the chat, if you guys are right now watching this and you're in the chat, you're not a part of this stream. Even if your comments were to show up in the overlay, you're not a part of the show. You're not.
he called CPS hosted Bruce Matskin. Strange, right? Go and check the records. Otter Creek breaking news, August 20th, 2024.
Go check it.
He thrives on accusing others of making threats, usually twisting words out of context to fit his narrative. It's almost an art form at this point. And the fact that he actually brags that he's making money out of it, that's just fucking despicable.
That really bothers him. I am making money on this video. I'm making money.
I mean, like, if I take the crampons and Tim, I mean, you're both nearly the fucking same. He calls people out in his videos, but the gathering issue is this. His own behaviour is the root cause of his problem. Shocking, I know. Speaking of accusations, where's the evidence, Mike? Uncle Frank Bear will say, I mean, you accused me, you dragged me into it, you fucking made accusations.
I already have done the video. He had Tat on his channel where they were talking shit about Uncle Frank until they were called out. But yeah, he was absolutely believing everything that Tat said. He said it was disgusting. He said, like, you can go watch the video for yourself. You can watch it.
Accusations that I was attacking a veteran who passed away.
It was January 18th, January 20th, around there.
And then you sit on a shore and you make a threat to anyone that you've got all the fucking proof.
Tat is still attacking Uncle Frank. Still saying that they don't have any proof on stuff. And we've told you why. Because Uncle Frank was Native American. And Native Americans do things a different way.
Well, newsflash, sunshine. I've got screenshots where your little buddy, Yoda, made fucking mistakes. He actually...
You notice what's happening here? Okay. So he has a mental issue. Okay? And he badly wants to attack me. And he is. But he doesn't have anything that anyone cares about. Like, oh, you lied. Oh, let's say I did. Who cares? Okay? This is a show. Sometimes things have to be played up for the show. So if you want to call that a lie, oh, okay, go right ahead. But he's now attacking Yoda. Okay? So it's no longer about me. He's now attacking Yoda.
Told me in a fucking DM where the funeral chamber or the funeral place was and where he was going to get buried and everything else, including the Veterans fucking Association as well, the VFW or whatever it's called. So you want to play a game, motherfucker? Let's play a game.
What's that got to do with anything? Oh, Tat says they're lies. But Tat doesn't understand that there's 2 funeral homes owned by the same family with the same name. That's where Tat screwed up. And they assumed one of them was where Uncle Frank was.
You had every opportunity to just turn around, walk away, do your business, and do something constructive with your platform. But all you've done is sit on your platform, all right, and try to antagonize and press a button. But you fucking poked the wrong fucking bear, Sunshine.
He really wants to control what I do on my platform. Really wants to control that. And that's a theme of people who are mentally ill. There's other people that he's going to bring up who also wanted to control what I do on my platform. But we'll get there.
This is me, my personal opinion.
No
and the
one
people
cares.
who believe you are either naive, stupid, or both. Or they
That's what he really has a problem with. The fact that I have an audience.
are blind. The fact that you get two other people to spread the video that you showed me and others in full about a very, very, very interesting setup. Tell me, Mike, why was it that you parked your car in such a position that you could actually film everything? Why was it?
Oh, I'll actually answer that. So first off, I'll address those people. There's actually multiple people doing this story, but yeah, those people, they saw the video for themselves, had a problem with what they said. They wanted to do the story, so they're doing the story, and they're not stopping. They're continuing to develop the story. But as far as why was my car parked in the way it was, well. The individual who attacked me had been coming to the custody exchange and was doing so because it was an effort to harass and intimidate me. And I could tell that. He was coming to my kids' events. And I had a conversation with my attorney about, okay, they're trying to escalate this. What should I do? And in my attorney's office, she said, right now I want you to order a dash cam. And she said, I want you to make sure that it gets 360. Order that dash cam, and that way if something happens, you have video proof. So yeah, I parked in a position where I would. Here's the thing: that's not the only camera. That's just the only camera that was relevant for that night. So, why was I parked in a certain way? I really parked like she was parked here. My ex was parked here. I was parked here, and there was a space in front of us. And that's not abnormal. But yeah, I did make sure that, yeah, I was parking so that my dash cam could pick things up. But the same thing, like, so there were times where I would, if she was in the back, I would park a little bit up front because the rear camera would get it. So yeah, there you go. Mystery solved. And he's probably going to go and say, see, I got him to admit the truth. Okay, something I was never lying about.
Was it that you always had your back to the camera? Why was it that no one could hear what was being said? Why was it that on multiple occasions you turned around and looked at...
My back was not to the camera, and I was not looking at the camera. In fact, if you watch the video, I had my phone, and I was trying to also record with my phone.
the camera just to make sure it was fucking recording? Huh? But that's none of my business. That's your problem, not mine. I don't care about that. That's none of my business. I'm not going to get involved in that. But I just thought...
Let's talk about why are you on Discord telling people that I edited that video? There's the only edits in that video is my kid is blurred out. That's the only edit.
Well, I'd mentioned that. Because I think people are seeing the wrong narrative because of the way you're twisting it. Now, at the end of the day, what happens between you and your former partner, right, has you affected? Because the thing is, it's been going on for fucking 6+ years.
Has it affected me in my life? Absolutely. That's why I have a therapist. That is why I have a therapist. And that's why I can, you guys have seen me get emotional about some things when I talk about them. And that can be a good thing because reliving that emotion, it desensitizes it. And that's why I talk it over with my therapist. He obviously has a mental issue and he refuses, and we'll get into it, but he refuses to talk to a therapist.
Especially when you get stopped at a checkpoint, trying to get into a base. Now, I don't know about American base law or the SLPs in regards of using an IRR ID card, a military ID card, to try and get into a base.
I was not using an IRR ID card. I was using my reserve ID card. Any reserve member can get aboard any installation. Additionally, any veteran can get aboard any installation. I had multiple IDs that would have gotten me onto that base, but they told me I didn't have base access when I did. I had multiple reasons why I had base access. So someone had put a bolo out for me And a bolo means be on the lookout. So I was denied my civil rights. I was detained for over an hour, not because of any crime. I had done no crime. They couldn't articulate any crime. I hope you guys realize that's a very serious violation.
Where you work in a civilian employment. But hey, who am I to question that? I don't know. I don't live over there. I'm not employed over there. I'm not an American, so I don't know. I mean,
see, he doesn't know the rules or anything, but here he is going off about them.
I've already been attacked on my being a Brit. In fact, I'm fucking Welsh, and I'm proud of it. But anyway, we digress.
Okay.
Speaking of accusation, I'm going to repeat this one again. Speaking of...
By the way, you're all Brits to us. We don't care.
accusations, where's the evidence, Mike? May he rest in peace. Uncle Frank's burial site, funeral photos, other relatives. Or is it all elaborate ghost story?
What evidence do you... You're not entitled to any evidence. The dude lived and he died. And you harassed, and you're continuing to... You're asking for evidence. You're not entitled to evidence. Like, you can go get a death certificate. Go get that. That's public record. You're entitled to that.
Where are the pictures of his funeral?
Pictures of his funeral. Are you talking about the service that they held? Talk to Yoda. They had technical difficulties because they were trying to live stream it. They called me several times. They called other people several times. That happens. They didn't have the greatest internet. When are they gonna, post it? Well, last I talked to them, they were of the mind, because of you and Tat attacking them, they were not gonna post anything. And I told them, fuck them. They're not deserving of anything.
If it was a Native American funeral or if it was a non-Native American funeral, where are the pictures? Where are all the cards and everything else of the funeral?
Why do you think you need that? Why do you think you get that? With your actions, I would not post any of that.
Because I happen to know a few Native Americans, and they tell me a complete different story.
Do you know how many different Native American tribes there are, each with their own different stuff? So I'm just based on this, I'm gonna tell you he likely doesn't know any Native Americans. It's probably someone in his chat who said some bullshit, and he's saying that he knows them and has talked to them. And no, bring them on your show. If this is such a big deal, bring them on your show and discuss it. But he won't go on the record.
But no, you sit on your platform and you go on and on and on and on and on.
When you bring it up, yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to monetize you. And that's what I'm doing.
And what's with the whole Native American claim with no supporting evidence? A DNA test might help, just saying. Final question for the...
He wants a DNA test? Let me tell you this. Okay. I'll educate you about Native American tribes. Every tribe has a tribal council because that's part of their treaties. And each tribe has its rules for membership, and each tribe gets to determine its rules for membership. And if Yoda and Miss Yoda and Uncle Frank are members, that is because the tribe is confident in their ancestry.
The Grandmaster of Deflection. Why park your car suspiciously close to it? And I've already mentioned that. That's what I wrote a fucking while ago. That was to get it out of my system. That was to get that shit out of my system.
Good for you.
Because to be honest with you, mate, you're not worth anything. In fact, you are an embarrassment to the creed, to the uniform, and to anyone who you represent with your behavior. You want a reaction, now you're getting a reaction. And this is the only time you're going to get a reaction. So therefore...
Notice how emotional he is. Just notice that.
Or I'm going to pile it up, motherfucker, and you're not going to like what I'm going to be saying. For example, what about
another threat? Another threat. He loves to make threats. Loves to make threats.
You want a reaction, now you're getting a reaction, and this is the only time you're going to get a reaction. So therefore, I'm going to pile it up, motherfucker, and you're not going to like what I'm going to be saying. For example, what about the personal information from Bruce Matskin that you sent?
What personal information? Because you went very deep into his personal information. If I forwarded something along, it was because someone else sent it. I was not actively trying to find information on him. But if people sent me information, yeah, I share information every single day with people who are involved in this case. Doesn't mean I'm doing anything with it. But you publicize stuff about his divorce, which was pretty scumbaggy. It has nothing to do with Jeremy Hales. You were just trying to, as you like to say, character assassinate.
What about the personal information about Max Lab? That poor lad. Where's he?
I have not published any of his personal information. If he wants to do what he's doing, he can do what he's doing. I will, and I'm gonna, because I don't want. There are people out there who are friends with you who are bullying Max Lab, and I'm not going to add to that. I'm not.
Dropped in like a hot spud, didn't you? Just like
I didn't drop him. He is more than welcome to be involved in the show the way that he was.
Daniel, same thing. That poor guy had fucking paint chips in his stream, and there was one more. Where were you there? Where was your little crew then to fucking?
This is the first I'm hearing about it. I when Daniel would go live, I would pop in. I would say some things, but I have a life. I don't sit on YouTube all day. If Paint Chips jumps into Daniel's stream, and Daniel doesn't want him there, Daniel should end the stream. There you go. I don't know what you want me to. I'm not the YouTube police. I don't know what you think I'm supposed to be doing.
Where's he? Dropped in like a hot spud, didn't you? Just like Daniel, same thing. That poor guy had fucking paint chips in his stream, and there was one mod.
Okay.
Where were you there? Where was your little crew then to fucking support and protect him from that idiot?
Oh, my job is to protect other YouTubers? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing?
Where was he? Where were you? Nowhere to be seen. But you fucking jumped on his platform and start spreading the shit.
What did I start spreading on his platform? And
hadn't I contacted Missy Lady and Linda at the time when all that shit was being said, you would have convinced other people with your bullshit.
Moosey Lady, she was in your chat one day. Then she went into Daniel's chat, started, and I was not in there. But I did see it for myself. She went into his chat, started spouting off to give her 2 cents, and just was creating the drama. It started the drama, and then she left and went back into your stream and said that everybody was attacking her. I'm not about that.
But luckily, I got there in time. And luckily, all right, you messed with the wrong woman. You don't fuck with the jocks.
You got there in time? Oh, okay. What did I do? What did I do? She went into Daniel's stream and created drama. What did I do? I wasn't even there.
Because a jock will come and rip you apart in midair and put you back together again with little fucking
Is he threatening me? Is this a physical threat?
glue, and they will tell you how it is. And it's not. This is not your fault, Mike. No, I'm not blaming you. I'm talking about the crowd who's.
You just asked where was I. You just asked where was I, and why was I not protecting him? So apparently it is about me. But see, this is what another thing. Again, mental illness. He's projecting other people's stuff onto me because he has to bring me down.
You have surrounding you your little minions like Jen Fonda, for example, or Susan. Was it I7B, whatever, former Marine, Simplify, Hoola, all right, or other fucking people who you
Apparently, I'm responsible for other people now.
Send to harass and everything else.
Oh, hold on.
No, and it's not. I'm not. This is not your fault, Mike. No, I'm not blaming you. I'm talking about the crowd you have surrounding you, your little minions like Jen Fonda, for example, or Susan. Was it I7B, whatever, former Marine, Simplify, Hoola, right?
Here comes.
Or other fucking people who you send to harass and everything else.
Who I send to harass. Who am I sending and who am I harassing? Good
Not
question.
one person from the community who come into my stream and who sit here and we interact day in, day out when I'm live. Not one of them, from what I have seen, has done what you people do. Not one. But it's okay for you. However, you are fucked up big time.
No, you just have people who are investigating me. Remember, you just said the other day that you had people contacting you about me.
Now, let's have a look at the.
See, this is a case of accusing people of things of which you're guilty.
Let's have a look at some truth, shall we?
Projection.
Now, you sit on your platform and you sit there and go, well, I didn't say anything. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. All right? This here is the message that I wrote.
Okay. I am literally using your audio to prove what you've said. You're claiming I've said things, but you're not any proof. And I'm going to skip through this because he's literally going to read his own post. This dude loves hearing his own voice, and it's ridiculous.
And using them as your own. Then what
He's
your
still
channel
reading it.
was
Still reading it.
it's not all hate. I just don't like you because you're a fucking liar.
Who reads their own posts? Like, oh, pat myself on the back.
And that you twist the truth. That you make shit up. And there are people out there who are stupid enough to believe you. I fucking don't care.
That's what bothers
you do in your life. That is entirely your business. But stop playing the victim. It's tired, it's transparent, and frankly, it's not working. Move on. If I want to talk about...
Oh, I'm doing everything to get a response out of you. And it is clearly working. I mean, we're 33 minutes in, and you're talking about me.
anything,
The
I'll
whole
do
time.
it in my own time. You're the one who seems incapable of letting it go. And frankly, growing up, I've got more important things to do than waste my energy on someone who's supposed to be a pillar of the community. And instead it comes...
Whoever said I'm a pillar of the community? If anyone has said that, knock it the hell off. Obviously, he's got better things to do, but yet he's going to do 30 minutes about me.
across as a Karen on a rampage.
That's how he comes across. This, again, projection. When you have a mental illness, you're so close to the issues that you can't see the bigger picture. That is him. He needs a therapist.
So move on. No one cares, Mike. I certainly don't. Have a good
I am not moving on. I am monetizing you. You are making me money right now.
day, Mike. Or don't. Either way, I'm done. Cheers. That was my message. It wasn't meant in a negative way. It wasn't meant in a derogatory way. It was me telling you, leave me the fuck alone in the most politest way I can. Satiric, humorous.
He came into my channel and left messages. But he wants to be left alone. No, he wants my attention. He wants this.
And a little bit sarcastic. You should know me by now. But you couldn't do that, can you? No, you couldn't. Because it's too fucking much to ask. Now, I know for a fact there's people I can tell you 2 people right off the fucking dot who come into my stream, and when they come into my stream they hit the thumbs down. I don't care about the thumbs down, I don't care about the thumbs up. I care about the likes. Right? I do care about the likes because I like to know, right, what people think.
And remember, I told everyone to give your video a like. I don't want people harassing you. I want you to keep making me content.
And this is why I don't have comments on my live streams, because if you've got something to fucking say, hit that subscribe, comment, say what you want to say, and if it's constructive, we'll discuss it. But you couldn't do that, could you, Mike?
You know what he's doing now? To be able to comment, you have to be a subscriber for 40 minutes. He really wants those subscribers. He's at the recording of this, he's at 650. Remember, he previously said he was going to monetize at 700, which is so stupid. Just monetize already. Quit talking about it. No one cares. No one cares.
No. You see, this is where you made a mistake.
Ooh,
And you are a chud, Mike. That is a neat and a polite way of saying you are a shithead.
Here he is with name calling. Okay.
Right? Because chud stands for chemical humanoid underground dweller. That's where turds go, they go underground. Right? Now,
He's like Gary Busey.
I don't care what possibly goes wrong. I don't care about your opinion about me. What you should care about is the...
Did you just hear that? He does not care about my opinion about him.
Now, I don't care what possibly goes wrong. I don't care about your opinion about me. What you
Okay. Well, then this shouldn't bother you. You need a therapist. That's my opinion. You need a therapist.
should care about is the opinion from everyone about what you do. Your act.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
So chemical humanoid underground dweller. That's where turds go. They go underground. Right? Now, I don't care what possibly goes wrong. I don't care about your opinion about me. What you should care about is the opinion from everyone about what you do. Your actions.
Okay, this is classic narcissism. Oh, don't worry about my opinion of you. You should worry about everyone else's opinion. Everyone else thinks all these things about you. That's classic narcissism. But he doesn't think he needs a therapist.
Right? If I want to talk about you, I want to talk about the Crampons, I want to talk about Jeremy Hells, I am discussing it from my own personal perspective. But
and if I want to talk about you, I'm discussing it from my own personal perspective. We're perfectly free to do that. But he's bothered by it.
Obviously, you don't get it. And you say I don't comprehend the copyright and fair use. Actual fact, I do.
No, you don't. You made the exact same complaint about me using image and likeness that Lynette and Bruce Matskin used, and it's wrong. I did not. Just because I am monetized does not mean that when I use your stuff, it's for commercial purposes. That is the difference. For commercial purposes means that is all it is for. I am also giving my constructive criticism and public comments, and like I've said before, I am mocking you. And parody and satire always, always, always is protected.
But then again, you know, it must be an American thing with you, right? You think you're superior. You're not, Mike. In fact, all right, I am concerned that you're either not taking your medication or you definitely need some professional.
I will say this. I know more about U.S. law than you. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that my 14-year-old son knows more about U.S. law than you. So I'm actually doing... my videos are also educational because your fans who watch you are being given misinformation, and I am educating.
Well, because you have got worse and worse and worse over the last couple of months. I've been listening. I've been hearing people what they've been saying and everything else. I don't care about your stream. I don't go to your streams unless someone says, "Hey, he said something about you."
And here's the thing. You do care, because then you do 30 minutes on it.
Go there, I check it out, I laugh, and I leave. That's how simple it is. Because you are irrelevant in my world. I don't care what you say. And in fact, I've had other fucking people who have got nothing to do with this, who are sat in my living room, and they've actually paid attention and seen what's going on, and they actually feel sorry for you. Fuck knows why. And one of them's a fucking Englishman, and I don't even understand why. But then again, he's English, so that's probably,
the fantasies.
Probably. Yeah, that's probably one of the reasons. Anyway, that's beside the point. The fact of the matter is, you've been caught out in yet another lie.
Oh no, and been called out on another lie.
And you're not going to like this, Mike.
They're all lies in his mind.
Because sometimes the truth.
So,
yeah.
All he's doing is he's putting up the what I posted the other day. Here, I'll show you. So there you can see it for yourself. I'm not showing the video, but yeah, he posted my public comments, and that really bothered him.
I was sent these screenshots, and obviously I've edited them, so I am not breaking any community rules or anything else. Yes, but I've left your first name, okay? Right, because that is your first name. Right now, and the fact that you've dropped my name multiple times,
really
I think we're even on that one, aren't we? Yes, we are. Now here you say he badly needs my attention. No, in fact, I think it's the other way around. Okay, I have discussed you with multiple people.
I put he badly needs my attention because he came into my channel and left comments. He badly needs my attention. You don't see me going into his channel, and we'll get into that. He talks about it.
People on multiple occasions. Because the thing is, even though I can't stand the fucking space you use, right, I do care because you're a fucking brother in arms. I don't know why. There is a part of me that cares about you. Right? I don't know. And
no, there's a part of him that he wants to make up so that he can use my channel, my audience, my platform. 100%. And there's a lot of that going around.
Fucking don't ask me why, because I can't give you the answer. Right? And, there were situations that I witnessed with you, and I supported you.